Well, we're in for a bit of a treat here because we have not one but two humorous speeches this morning. Our next speaker, Josh Martin, is doing project number 1 out of the Humorously Speaking Manual. This is also part of his Advanced Communicator Bronze track. The project title for this speech is Warm Up Your Audience. So the idea is to give a 5 to 7 minute speech that begins with a humorous story. And what Josh is going to talk about this morning is fun times on camp staff. So he's going to be sharing some fun stories and lessons learned from his time working at a Boy Scout camp in the past. So, yeah, 5 to 7 minutes, like I said, and welcome Josh Martin.
During my college years, I spent 3 summers working on staff at a Boy Scout camp. I have a lot of fond memories of working with those folks, and we managed to get pretty wacky from time to time. I was usually among the more subdued staffers, but there were a couple of hooligans in the group. One guy in particular, he was just always doing something really strange to try to either prank or embarrass the camp director. Whether it was outrageous skits or silly stories or silly songs. Once, this guy even burst into the lunchroom wearing nothing but a grass skirt, a coconut bra, and was doing the hula. Just very strange. But I managed to get in a few sillies myself. One day, at morning lineup, all the staff came marching up to the front of the courtyard. Attention. Camp director scanned across us casually, as he always did. Had all of us in our strict attention. He passed by me with his eyes, and then stopped. Then snapped right back to me, his face in utter bewilderment. There I was, solemn, at attention. But in front of my uniform, I was wearing a giant coconut bra. We all started cracking up, and he just slowly turned around and shook his head. He must have been just utterly bamboozled, probably more so than anything any of the other guys could have done, because it came from me and it was just so unexpected. So the 3 years that I had at camp staff were indeed a lot of fun, definitely. But they were also highly formative to me in my developing me as a worker and a leader in my career. So today I'm going to talk about 3 key aspects that I grew as a person while on camp staff, which are responsibility, team effort, and camaraderie. First, I learned a lot about responsibility. Working on camp staff was my first real job. And my responsibility in particular was the trading post manager. So I was the most popular person on the camp staff, of course, because I ran the store that sold the candy and snacks and ice cream, as well as camping supplies and wilderness gear and crafting materials. And I had a lot of responsibility because I had to maintain my inventory, I had to keep track of both cash and maintain a clean store. This took a lot of learning and hard work to make sure that the trading post was a success. So that translated into my working worlds because it helped shape a strong work ethic as an engineer, which has led me to a lot of success now in my career. Secondly, it was a big theme of camp staff that we all work, so then we all play. The entire staff had to work together to do things like cleaning up large common areas or facilitating activities with the boys at various times. I remember, I can't forget the visual of a half-dozen guys all cleaning the dining room, everyone with a brush and just like in tandem, back and forth every row until the whole place was done. It was beautiful, like just the teamwork and getting it all done so quickly. It was like ballet. if ballet was 6 sweaty guys with big going back and forth across the dining. But I took that team effort mentality into my work world, and I've always tried to be team-oriented and helpful to whomever asks for whatever they need. And my coworkers like that attitude, and then they reciprocate and be cooperative with me too. Lastly, the camp staff has always had a strong bond of camaraderie. It was like a sense of family of us all there because we spent so much time week in, week out during the summer camp, just every day together working and playing. We tried to treat each other like friends and always make sure that when we were working, it was never dull. I try to take that sense of fun and friendship into my work here at Consumers Energy. My immediate team are all like friends of mine, and we treat each other that way in the good times and the bad. We also try to make sure that there's fun and humor injected into our day-to-day activities to help break up the monotony and help keep us all productive. My time working on camp staff has been very formative to me as an individual in my working life and throughout my career. I learned a lot about responsibility, team effort, and camaraderie, and that's helped enable me to be a good worker and to do it while having fun. And Toastmaster.
Fans in the way. Mary, you still with us? All right, perfect.
I muted myself so I wouldn't be disturbing the meeting.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right, wonderful. Megan, if you could give us 1 minute on the clock. So it sounds like 3 summers in a row, and now you have 2 little girls, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe Girl Scouts will be in their future in Girl Scout camp. My daughter went to camp, overnight camp for the first time this summer, and I was very, very nervous for her because I was not a camper when I was younger. And we were packing her bag the night before, and I said, "So Sophie, how you feeling?" You know, because I'm like almost in tears, like really nervous. She's like, "I got a lot of clothes." I'm like, okay, she'll be fine. She's obviously not nervous about this time or this experience. So did you go as a youth as well?
Yeah.
And then come back as a counselor?
Like 3 years as a youth and then, yeah.
Okay, great. Oh, that's wonderful. Sounds like it was a great experience. So where was the camp located?
Camp Loudon is in kind of north central Illinois.
Oh,
Just
wow.
near where I used to live.
Okay, perfect. So beautiful summers, probably similar to ours.
Yep.
Lakeside? Was there a lake there?
There was a river nearby
Mm-hmm.
for canoeing and water sports.
Mm-hmm. Well, I could see you would be Mr. Popular with all of the candy. And I know she took, my Sophie took her money so that she could buy stuff at the camp store. So, are we good on the minute? Okay, perfect. Well, Mary, it is your turn. Now that we're done with our speakers and evaluations, just a quick reminder, make sure to pass all those evaluations over to Joshua so that he can view them. And would you like us to move you, or she's good here, correct?
Yeah, she's good.
Okay, so we'll have you just present right from there, and I can be the change of arms here at the podium if that works for you.
That works fine.
Okay, great.
So I had very little notice to be involved in this meeting, but Mike volunteered to work on the Skype side of it, which is really cool because I'm using consumer technology with the full video experience, but consumers doesn't necessarily have little things that Black & Beach's computers do. Like I have a special headset that lets me talk and listen without having to try and talk to my computer speakers, which is really cool, but I got that from my Black & Beach side. But Black & Beach hasn't quite turned the videos on their computer yet, so it's kind of fun to blend the technologies. And I see everybody on the meeting agenda today is all already got a role, so Fallon, this does not excuse you from possibly being in the meeting.
For the deep ones.
Though, Mary.
I'm secretary too.
I'm secretary, sergeant at arms.
President.
I know you're multi-talented and able to do all sorts of things like that, so I'm calling you first, but you might be in there depending on how much time we have. I will need someone to count ballots for me because I am not there in the room to collect them unless if you want to send Skype.
Let Michael
So I saw Patricia, I think, wave.
Oh, Patricia? Okay, yeah, she can.
Okay. Thank you. And so if you don't already have a piece of paper out for your speech evaluators, your Your speakers, evaluators, and your table topics, please take out the scraps of paper to so it counts.
One thing though, Patricia should not count evaluator votes because of the fact that she is an evaluator. So
I
we'll-
can take them.
Okay, so we'll pass the evaluators to Bridget.
Evaluator and speaker, and then topics to Patricia.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works.
Perfect.
So with today's theme of homecoming, I thought of a lot of the same topics that Bridget already discussed about, is it, coming home to a person or a place. It could be for high school, and the entourage of what you do, where you've got the football game, you've got a meal, you've got a special dance. I'd like to ask Patricia what homecoming means to you, and if you have certain memories from high school or a person or a place that really resonates when you hear the term homecoming.
Okay.
Please help me welcome Tricia.
Homecoming. What does it mean to me? Right now, because I have 2 teenage sons who are heavily involved in marching band, when I hear homecoming, I think of homecoming parades and homecoming shows at the high school and college football games. We have a homecoming game coming up soon for Adrian High School, and this year my youngest son, Simon, who's a senior,